Alright, Janot's Irish Boxing, Weatherford, Texas. This is March 13th, Friday. And I told you guys I wasn't going to do this, but let's talk Pac-Mayweather fight. Let's talk styles, predictions, thoughts on the fight. And let's start the video in the bathroom, because that's where that fight's going to end, in the toilet. Oh, it's gonna be a first round knockout. Nuh-uh, that fight's going 12 rounds, bro. There is no way that fight's going 12 rounds. What, Pat gonna get it with a decision because he throws more punches? No, Mayweather's got to keep him off long enough of his game to throw his check hook and land it with a hook. If anything, it's gonna be Pac's overhand right no, it's gonna be Mayweather's overhand right. Pac's overhand right. Mayweather's got to wait for that opening, just like Marquez did against Pacquiao with the overhand right, and it's over. Pac pushes the face of the fight. He lands more punches. He wins the fight. You know, you hear all these opinions, right? Everything coming from every direction. Miley Cyrus and da-da-da, and Justin Bieber and da-da-da. Let's don't focus on that. Let's talk reality. And the reality of this fight is neither one of these fighters have faced a harder opponent in their entire career. Neither one of these fighters are going to have to make more adjustments for this fight, before and during, most importantly during this fight, than they've ever had to before. And the thing about it is, when you face an opponent like this, one time slipping, it's over with. You know, there hasn't been a fight in recent memory that has had the possibility to be such an explosive, dynamic fight, and at the same time failed to live up, just been a blowout. It's very possible that these fighters, with Pacquiao style and with Money style as being, relatively unentertaining fight, if that's what you call it. Anyone can speculate, but no matter the hype, I'm excited about this fight. Coming into it, if you don't know anything about this fight, Mayweather's undefeated. Pacquiao's sitting at 56-5-2. Talking pure statistics, first off, let's talk height. Mayweather by a couple inches. Let's talk reach. Reach is 72-67. Mayweather. Speed, both fighters are professionals with their own styles. Speed, I think, is going to be not necessarily the issue or an issue as far as the statistics go, but if we're talking pure statistics, talking straight statistically speaking, I looked at 6 of Manny Pacquiao's last fights, and out of 1,655 jabs, he landed 204 of them, sitting at about 12.3%. While his opponents, on the other hand, landed more during those fights. Jab is going to be very important in this fight for a couple reasons. Now, everyone can speculate, but to say the jab is going to be important in a boxing match is the pot calling the kettle black. It's redundant, and it may sound stupid, but it's really not, because, looking at Pac's jabs, looking at Mayweather's last 6 fights, he's thrown 1,388 and landed 211. So that's about 15%. It's higher than Pac's, number one. And another point that you have to take away from me is that no matter how this fight goes, Pacquiao's jab has been lacking, and especially against someone like Mayweather, whose jab can be so effective and can be so deadly. I think that Pac's jab is only going to look bad against Mayweather. Mayweather, he uses his jab different from Pac, and that's what's kind of hard to understand if you don't know these two fighters. Mayweather uses his jab to set up his other punches, his counter punches, which is going to be the most important thing in this fight, I think, is the counter punching, and when to do it, when not to, and when to get caught doing it. I think that Pac's jab is only going to undershine Mayweather's, simply for the reason that it's an orthodox southpaw lineup, and that Mayweather's right is quicker, can be thrown from more angles. We say that Pac's got more power than Mayweather. Looking at all the things, including like the chin, Mayweather's undefeated, so his chin is just fine. One would assume, but from an inside look, Mayweather does have the stronger chin, it would seem. I've seen Pac get dropped with a jab in a video from a couple years back, but that could happen with anybody, But as far as power goes, Mayweather's landed like a 46.8 connection rate in his power punches at his last couple fights, and his opponents have only came in at about 18.9. And what you have to understand about that is he holds a 25% connect power ratio against his opponents on power shots. So, at Pac's weight, where they're going to be fighting, Pac's had to rely on his power punches, his finishers, him being an average boxer but a great puncher, and Mayweather has found little success in the past with power shots. So why would he try to suddenly find it against Manny Pacquiao is what you have to ask yourself. Is it going to go that way? And I think something to think about is that Mayweather is not a finisher. He's not, as far as a punch goes, he's not a knockout artist. He doesn't go for the big shots. He's technical, and he's very methodical in his actions. Taking into account, Pac historically overcommits with his left, and Mayweather uses his only to set up his next shot or to be proactive and reactive at the same time. Looking at Pac, taking into account that he's faced slow, in respects to Money Mayweather, slow plodding opponents, who lack the speed that Mayweather has. When it comes to power shots in his last 3 fights, Pac landed at about 32.2%. No round did he land less than 30. And out of this last fight I was looking at, it was a 44.6% connection rate with a 12.4% advantage there. Now, Pac, talking about jabs at last 3 fights, threw 1,021 jabs and landed like 103 of them. Okay, and that was at 147 pounds. Now, that's about 10%, But Pac overall is at about a negative 9.6 in landing of his jabs against his opponent, and that's not exactly a good connection rate when you think about the fact that he has to fight someone and beat someone like Mayweather. As Pacquiao's come up through the ranks in the weight, it seems like his speed and his power haven't really come up with him, and that's one thing to think about. With this fight, it can be as simple as the one who makes the adjustment first. It can be the one who's fighting the fight in front of him. It could be the one who wants the other guy to think he's fighting the fight in front of him when really he's had a plan the whole time. Mayweather is amazing in the 1st and the 7th. You have to remember that. I don't think this fight's going to decision. If it does, could Manny Pacquiao win by pure points? He throws more punches. Manny Pacquiao, he throws punches in bunches, but he has a hard time adjusting on the fly, and that's one thing that Floyd Mayweather has shown us time and time again. He does not have a hard time doing. He's caught out of position a lot of the times, and when things stop working for Manny, you have to understand, when things stop working for Pac, he gets frustrated. When you start tagging him, when Marquez was able to settle down and start pushing the pace of the fight, he was able to get over on Manny Pacquiao, and the overhand right that knocked Pacquiao out for Marquez was just that. It was the same thing that Floyd Mayweather would aim to do in this fight, which is dictate the pace, okay, dictate the action, and ultimately not only win the fight, but decide how the fight's going to play out. You know, if Mayweather can upset Pac by landing his faster, more versatile jab, or even his next shot by setting up that jab, and he can frustrate Manny to where he's coming after him, then I think that'll be Pac's downfall, because, you know, Mayweather has shown us time and time again that he will find your weakness, he'll exploit it. You know, he is a very, very, very tactical fighter. And, you know, I don't think Pac's going to have to work to adjust the pace of the fight and have to deal with Mayweather beating him to some punches, because at the end of the day, these guys are both so stylistically good that somebody's going to get caught, you know, and that's why that chin comes into play. Is, you know, Manny's throwing punches and bunches, and Floyd shells up on him, you know, and Manny starts swinging for the fences. You know, Floyd has a stylistic punch called a check left hook. What he does is he'll check you with the left hook, and then what he'll do is he'll rotate in and pivot in and hit you with another hook, or hit you with a right. And if Manny starts forgetting about everything else and just reacting to what Mayweather does, it'll be so easy for Mayweather to control him that the fight will be over with before it started, you know. And I don't think that it'll be like previous fights when we've seen with these guys where they stop the fight because of, you know, the clinch game's too tight or anything like that. At the end of the day, I think that Manny lacks a sufficient enough speed to fluster Mayweather's defensive game, and he lacks the footwork to keep him off balance. And Pac's speed will be good in the beginning, just like Mayweather's, but it'll fade, and as it goes on, you'll see each one of them start paying for the technical mistakes that they make. Now, the fighter who can make those technical mistakes and can feint the other one or can bait the other one into doing what he wants in any high-stress situation is going to be the winner, you know. I just don't want to see this go wrong, and that's one of my biggest things, one of my biggest fears with this fight. You know, if we look at reach, you know, Mayweather's got it. We look at height, Mayweather's got it. But I don't want you to focus on such things, because both of these men are so stylistic and professional that you don't want to get hemmed up on certain stats like that. But Manny's jab is more powerful, you know, but monies can land from different angles. You know, the jab cannot be underestimated in this fight. This is not a normal fight by any means, you know. Can Pac win by decision if it goes to points? Pac those punches and bunches. The more that land, the more shots that land, you know, you figure he could, right? This is going to be part 1 of Floyd Money Mayweather Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, March 2nd, 2015. So this is part 1 coming to an end. Part 2 coming up. Thanks, guys.